One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today.
Good morning. Good morning. So I just wanted to jump on live this morning, and I'm actually up in my office because I'm waiting for my car to heat up. And I said, let me do this live from the office because once I get out to the car, I'm only about 7 minutes away from where I need to go. And I want to talk for at least 15 minutes, okay? So I said, let me let my car heat up because it is kind of cool here. Let me do that. Good morning. And, let my car heat up. But I need to have this little chat with the ladies and the gentlemen. And I'm going to preface this by saying this may make the ladies feel away. And y'all know how I feel about that. Okay. So y'all already know, right? So I'm tired of this narrative that we have going, and we've had it going for a little while, but I see 2024, now 2025, we are ramping up this narrative. Let me make sure. Okay. Y'all, okay. I'm looking in the camera like, okay. This narrative we got going that men are the problem. Okay? We got a narrative going, ladies, where men are the cause of most relationship problems. And it's these stupid videos about would a woman choose the bear or the man, right? We have this narrative going on. And what's really sad is that younger women, y'all are eating it up hook, line, and sinker. Y'all are jumping on the bandwagon. And most of y'all, let's go here. Most of y'all don't even have no real experience with men. Y'all don't have no real experience with men. Not little boys, not frat boys, not F boys, but men. You don't have a father at home. You don't have a grandfather. You don't have an uncle. Like, you don't have legitimate men in your family, in your home, that are strong, that are protective, that are masculine. And so you're basing this whole narrative, on these little boys, on your high school boyfriend, on your college boyfriend, these frat boys, these F boys, right? These little boys. Because you don't have any real experience with men. Or you just so indoctrinated into social media that you just believe anything you find on social media. You don't even have any experience with men yourself, but yet you, when they interview you on the street, would you rather the bear or the man? I take the bear. It's getting to be ridiculous now. It's just downright ridiculous, the narrative that we have going. And then, again, see y'all, well, it's the men. The men are the cause of all the problems. So the number one problem y'all say is the men and their cheating. So the men and their cheating, the men can't be faithful. The men are out here, with all these different women. That's about, 15%. That's about 15% of them. Right? And I could look up the actual real number. Now I'm just going off the top of my dome. But the real number of men that are just, Casanovas, that's just out here sleeping around and have access to women like that is actually pretty low. It's not as the number not as big as you think. But if you all keep engaging with those 10 or 15% of men, right? You know the ones I'm talking about, the guys that have multiple kids by multiple women. The charmers, the charming guy, the funny guy, The guys that love bombing y'all and pursuing you and buying you crap, they within that 10 to 15%. But the regular dudes, the regular men, they're not out here sleeping around with everybody because they don't have access to women like that. Okay? But y'all are creating a narrative, and you're believing a narrative that men cause all relationship issues. And that's not true. That's not true. Okay? So let me give you some examples in my coaching and my practice. All right? Where women are the problem. Okay? Women are the problem too. So there's enough to go around. There's enough. Who's causing the problem here? Who's causing the issue? There's enough to go around. But you all are jumping on this bandwagon that says men are the problem. They're causing all of the issues with their nonsense and their behavior. And the same with, men being overtly sexual. I get it. Like I said, I get it. I've told y'all, that to some extent, like biology and nature says, especially these men today. These men today are so overtly sexual. Can I be real? Because they ain't having sex. They ain't having sex like that. And now it's gotten to the point where they've gone so long. Like they ain't having sex like that, and they've gone so long that they've gotten more and more overt in their requests for sex. So that's why I always tell women, when a man is overtly sexual in his dating profile, in the first conversation, the first date, this is what I want you to say. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Been a long time for what? Since you got laid. Like, that's the most obvious signal that this man has not had sex in a really long time. Okay? Because men that are actively having sex, that's not the first thing that come out their mouth. That's not the first thing they think of. Or that's not, they're not hounding you, a new woman that they trying to date, for sex. Because they like, I'm getting that. I'm just warming you up, So just understand that, ladies. Again, you all interacting with these men that are overtly sexual, or that have it in it. And like I said, the men that have it in their dating profile, y'all don't have no excuse. If you swipe right on that dude, you get what you asking for. But that's the first sign and signal that baby boy ain't had no sex in a long time. Like at this point, he just desperate. He is desperate. He's like, I got to advertise because I haven't had sex in so long. Remember, the average man does not have sexual access to women like that, y'all. And then y'all refuse to believe that truth. Ask any average Joe guy. Ask them. They do not have sexual access like that. Now, maybe they're not going to admit that, but my guy friends, they're like, yeah, the average man is not out here smashing like that. They're just not. They don't have sexual access like that. And that's why they're acting so thirsty and so I'm starving out of my mind. Okay? So, no, calm yourself down. All right? I get it. It's been a while. But this whole exchange is turning me off. It's not helping your case. You got to learn some semen retention. You got to learn some sexual discipline. I understand it's been a while, right? Make light of it. But So let me tell y'all how women are the problem. Okay? So, and we might have to make this video over on YouTube for members only, because I'm going to be direct. How are women the problem? The number one reason I see consistently where women are the problem is women are not direct. They are not clear in their requests. Women love to throw hints. They love to talk in circles. They love to give men a whole lot of information about whatever it is that's wrong that is irrelevant. And the men are lost. Okay? Men are simple creatures. Be direct. Be direct. You all are talking and and you mentioning all these details that don't have nothing to do with what it is you really want. Be direct. She said, if the average man isn't having sex, how did hookup culture become so rampant? It is rampant among 15% or 20% of men. 80% of men do not participate in hookup culture. Look it up. But again, y'all won't believe that. You won't believe that because social media is telling you otherwise. But you won't believe that. Okay? But that's the reality. 80% of men are not participating in hookup culture. That's only a small percentage of men. Okay? Y'all not going to believe that. Okay? But that's the truth. And so you have 80% of women that are sleeping with these same 20% of men. Right? So the 20% have game, they have mouth game, they look good, they're tall, they smell good, and, they may be about something. Their body is fit. Yeah, those men have high body counts. Think about that. They have high body counts. They're not sleeping with the same woman 100 times. They're sleeping with 100 women one time. Okay? That is what's happening. But we're not talking about that. We're thinking that all of these men, and I mean, when I say the average dude, I'm serious, y'all. Go into work, look at all the men at your work, all the men. Look at Gerald from IT. Look at Danny, that is the guy that clean up. Okay, look at Paul over there. Look at David over there. Like look at all the men, baby. 80 to 90% of those men don't have game. Aren't over 6'1", okay? Aren't fit, right? Y'all don't want them. And why can't you just admit that? Most of the average dudes y'all know, you don't want. Most women don't want. And yet you thinking, oh, they having all this sex. Oh, they can't be faithful. They not getting no sex because y'all don't want them. So Derek, who's 5'8", okay? Derek, who's 5'8", who work on the 4th floor, right? Who's a little chubby and his pants, are too tight. He need to stop wearing them skinny jeans. Y'all don't want him. You're not giving him no play. And the other dude upstairs, that's a little shy, that really don't say much. He wear glasses. Y'all not giving him no pom pom. See, this is the thing. It's like y'all don't want to admit the truth. You don't want to admit the truth of the matter. Y'all not throwing yourselves at him. And it's just like, how many times have I heard men tell me with their own mouth, women are not in my DM like that. Women are not throwing themselves at me. They're not falling in my DM. They're not trying to get at me. Okay? And then you got the percentage of women that may be trying to do that, but them men don't want them. Okay? So that's the reality, y'all. Okay, believe me or not, that's the truth. But for some reason, y'all don't want to believe the truth. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. The women are not direct. So they're either not saying anything at all, because women are socialized to keep quiet and to just take it and to just deal with it. But they're unhappy, but they're not opening their mouth at all. That has to end. That just has to end across the board. That's 90% of the problems I work with when it comes to women. They don't speak up. They don't advocate for themselves. They don't know how to tell a person what they want directly. That's 90% of the work that I do with women. You all have got to learn to speak up and start advocating for yourself. Stop abandoning yourself. Stop abandoning what it is you really need and learn how to tell a man directly. Okay? That's how y'all are the problem. The whole relationship will blow up, and the man will find out later all the things that made you unhappy, all the things that you wish he would have done, and you never once open your mouth. That's you. Like I always tell y'all, I get what I want. I get what I want from men. I don't have these problems. I tell men directly, and they're like, oh, that's refreshing. Like, thank you. And then they go off and do it. That is refreshing. I have never met a woman to be so direct. I said, baby, I'm about results. Y'all are worried about the process. Most women, y'all, well, how do I do it? How do I say it? Well, what if I say it? No. Be direct and worry about the results you get. Y'all too worried about the process of how it should all happen. That's why y'all say, I don't want to ask for flowers because he should just know. It takes away from it if I have to ask. That's why you're not getting what you want now. Anita don't work that way. I ask directly and I gets. I ask, I gets. Okay? But that's 90% of the women's problem. A closed mouth don't get fed. So the second part, as I have told y'all many times. So clearly, I don't have a problem with repeating myself, but y'all do. A woman will not say, if she works up the courage to actually take my advice, guess how many times she gonna do it? I talked to him once. I told him once. What do I tell my couples in couples therapy? I say, look, there's two things in this world that you should not do if you don't like repeating yourself. So if you don't like repeating yourself, right? A lot of people tell me, I hate repeating myself. I hate saying something more than once. These are two things you should never do. You ready? Number one, don't get in no relationship. So don't get in no relationship. Don't get married if you don't like repeating yourself. Okay, so go on about your business. Leave the men alone, ladies, if you don't like repeating yourself. Number two, don't have no kids. Now, those of you all who are parents, you already know what I'm talking about. I have been parenting. Well, I'm not parenting no more because my kids are grown. I have been in this parent game for 25 years. And I will still say something I said from the beginning. Because remember, I'm all about being effective. That's why it's called effective communication. I will do whatever's necessary to get results. Remember, it's about results. And I will repeat myself. I will say something more than once. I'll say something more than 100 times if it'll get me results. But what y'all do? I talked to him about it once and I didn't see no change. So that's that. If he wanted to, he would. Y'all the problem. Y'all the problem. Okay? You don't want to say anything with words. You don't want to write him a letter. You don't want to say it out of your mouth. You don't want to text them. You don't want to send them an email. And then you don't want to do it more than once. That's one and two of the two biggest problems that I see women bring into relationships. Okay? And then let's keep going. Because I got more. I got a whole lot more. You have women with some manipulative behaviors. Women are manipulative by nature. You know, I said that to a woman the other day in session. She damn near walked out. I said, yeah, women are manipulative by nature. What? I can't believe. Truth hurts, don't it? Truth hurts, don't it? Women have been socialized to be manipulative because it's not cool for women to be direct. So instead of a woman just directly saying what she wants and what she needs, she plays all these games, right? All these little manipulative games. That's what society teaches you to do. Because if you are direct, if you just sit down like I'm talking right now, what's the first thing a man is going to say? Oh, this is coming off masculine. This is coming off really bitchy. Anita's a bitch. She's masculine. I had people over on YouTube tell me that. Oh, you seem real masculine because I'm speaking direct. Because I'm telling you very succinctly and directly. Because I'm actually, using words to express directly what it is I mean. And so, what do women do? They don't want to be called a bitch. They don't want to be called masculine. So they have to beat around the bush. They have to play little games. They have to manipulate you, right? Women are socialized to be manipulative. That's just what it is. I have been. You have been. Right? Because when I started out, I hated the term bitch. I hated the term ball buster and, masculine and all of those things. Now that I'm a grown woman, I don't care what y'all think. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care what he think. I don't care what she think. I speak directly and clearly. I let y'all know what time it is. And how you feel about that, you go and tell your mama. Okay? But a lot of y'all are manipulative. You play a lot of dumb games. You play a lot of tit for tat games. Women are the ones that invented revenge cheating, which is the stupidest thing on earth. What I look like going to lower myself to gutter status to get back at you for cheating on me. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. But that's the nature of a woman. Okay? And look, we speaking in generalities, so don't go there. Because I speak to the rule, not the exception. Is there an exception out there? Sure. I consider myself an exception now because I'm grown. I don't need to play no dumb games. I can tell you directly. I'm grown. Okay? So, the manipulation, let's keep it a buck. That's been socialized in women since the beginning of time. That's how y'all call yourselves getting what you want, is being manipulative. But that's a problem because most men feel like they can't trust y'all. Most men feel like they can't be vulnerable. They can't trust you. They don't know, if something they say is going to be used against them at any future period of time. Y'all are the queens of that now. Let a man have a vulnerable moment. Let a man tell y'all something in confidence or in vulnerability. Y'all are the queen of that. And don't even sit here and say you're not. That's a problem. That little piece of information is going to pop back up. Gonna pop right out of your mouth. That's the woman way. Okay? So no, they don't trust you now. They don't trust that, you gonna hold what they said in confidence that it ain't gonna come back up. All right, let me see. I've learned so much for these type of content. I never like confrontation, but it's not confrontation. No, it's just being direct. People in general don't like directness no matter how diplomatic you are. Agreed. P. Booker, so true. Thank you. So, yeah. Agreed. So, like I said, I just decided this is the real me. This is the authentic me. Y'all, I kid y'all not. When I woke up to the fact that, you know what? I think I'm direct. I think I need to quit these games. I think I just need to talk to people like straight. I think that's who I am. Right? When I woke up to that, I set myself free. I said, I think I need to stop all this manipulation and all this foolishness and this beating around the bush and trying to twist myself like a pretzel to get people to do things. I said, I think I just need to be direct. And sure enough, soon as this part of me, the real authentic part of me woke up, I started getting everything I want. I was like, wow, what took me so long? I should have been doing this. Okay? So the manipulation, let's keep going. Women got some other behaviors, some bad behaviors. Okay? You like to put other people ahead of your man. That's a problem. That's a woman problem. You like to put other people ahead of your man. Let's start with your kids. Hey, go on ahead and trip. Because I can hear it now. Women, I can't put my kids. That's not biblical. That's not biblical. That you put your kids ahead of your husband. So you like to put your kids ahead of your husband. You like to put your friends ahead of your husband. You like to put your mama and your daddy ahead of your husband. And your family. Your work. I had a couple women this week that I had to get on them about their work. They are willing to let their marriage falter for their dumb job. That's just buck wild to me. That's just like, my mind is literally blown that you are willing to let your marriage go down in flames over your job. That's just mind altering. But maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm wrong. But they put everything and everybody ahead of their man. So yesterday, my daughter's watching the Kardashians. See, I'm telling y'all what's happening in my life in real time. So she watched it all the way from the beginning, all the way to where it is now. But now she at the place where Kim has 3 kids by Kanye. So she's still married to Kanye. She got 3 children. She got another child on the way via surrogate. And this is around the time, if y'all remember, in Trump's first presidency, where Kim started getting on this bandwagon about how she wanted to, the president to do clemency. She wanted the president to let people out, people who had been in jail, people who had their case wasn't done properly, whatever, right? So the first person she let out was this older black woman. So she was on that whole kick. Oh, I want to, fight this fight about letting people out of jail and all this other stuff. So she let this older black woman out of jail who had been there for 20 years. And then she decided, I think I want to become a lawyer. I think I want to go to law school. Now listen up now. You ready? This woman got a husband, got 3 young children, got a baby on the way via surrogate, run all these companies and have all these jobs or whatever it is she do, because I don't even know what she do, but she got the show and she got these other things she do. What is it? Skims? So she got Skims, she got makeup, whatever else she got. Now she want to go to law school. That's some ignorance right there. That's some ignorance right there. These are the women that I'm talking about. You got all this stuff going on. Now Kanye, in 2 episodes before, my daughter said, yeah, he's starting to complain. He's starting to, act up because he feels neglected. He started talking to her about feeling neglected, them not spending time together, him wanting to go, live back in Chicago. Like you saw the little stuff brewing. That's what's so interesting when you go back and watch, because you could see when the marriage started to unravel. But you could see the stuff brewing. The marriage started unraveling. And here she gonna come to him. Look, because I was in the kitchen cooking and my daughter had it on, so I'm overhearing it. Yeah, now I want to go to law school. I think I want to, because there's this program where I could pass the bar. I could go to law school. And Kanye is just like, is she for real? Now, I done talked to her 2 episodes back about being neglected, about us not doing nothing, about us not spending no time. And what was her response? I got the kids, and I got the. Now, once did she listen? Not once did she sit there and actually take in what he was saying. Not once. Guess what she told him? She told him about all the things that was before him. That was her response to, hey, I miss you. I want us to spend more time together. I feel neglected. Well, let me tell you about all the other things I have to do that's more important than you. That was her response. That was her response to her husband. And that conversation went nowhere. Then 2 episodes now we in, she have the balls to bring up one more thing that will be put over him. One more thing that she's about to embark on that don't have nothing to do with him getting his needs met. Like I said, y'all, some of y'all women got bigger balls than the men. But you put everything over your man. And you surprised when he dip out or when he act up or when he, you surprised. Like, come on. I can't make this up. Let me look at these comments. Even when I choose to stay quiet, my face shows my thoughts and people still get offended, okay? Nope, the man comes first. That biblical, just like you stated exactly. He's been around the longest, you would think, right? So, y'all, I can't make this up. And she's surprised, and look. And so now, that it's all said and done, y'all are blaming Kanye's mental health. That's what she did. She blamed Kanye's mental health for the deterioration of her marriage. That's a bald-faced lie. That's a bald-faced lie. So those of y'all who don't watch the Kardashians, and I don't watch it, right? My daughter watch it. I happen to, be in the kitchen, be walking through the family room. But now it's like dawning on me, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was her. She put everything ahead of that man. She put everything. Her family. She was very vocal. Her family, her kids, her businesses. Now she want to go to law school. She put everything ahead of that man. Everything. Now, that don't mean, like I said, 2 things can be true at the same time. That don't mean Kanye don't have mental health issues. He has some mental health issues. But she put everything ahead of that man. And then look, was ordering kids like coming out of a catalog. And I still don't understand that to this day. I think Kim has a baby fetish. I think she has some sort of weird baby fetish. She likes the baby time. And then when the kids get 2 or 3, she's like, oh, I need another baby. I think she has a baby fetish. I don't think she want all them kids. I don't think she care about all them kids. She have a weird baby fetish. Oh, yeah, we already know that. She said his new wife, though. I don't even consider her his wife. Like I said, it's a joke. So, that, y'all cause problems, ladies. You cause problems in relationships. Your mouth. Some of y'all don't know how to talk to people. You definitely don't know how to talk to your husband. You don't know how to talk to a man. You don't know how to show respect. That's the next one. That mouth, that tongue. That tongue is the one part of the body that don't have no bones in it, but it will break a person. Break a person down with that tongue. Y'all don't know how to talk to people. You don't know how to, in a kind and direct way, in a respectful way, talk to your man. Okay? And then, now this a rare breed. I'm going to talk about this rare breed and then I'm going to get going because I know my car is toasty now. This a rare breed. This not every woman. This ain't even most women. You have a small percentage of women that y'all have behaviors just like men. You got some man behaviors. What do I mean by that? You like to drink. You like to smoke weed. You like to party. You like to be out in the street, cutting up. That's a very small percentage of women, but it's a percentage of women. You all are not domesticated. You don't know how to come home and be with your man and be with your children and cook a meal and sit and watch a movie with your family. You're not domesticated. You feral. And yet he's the problem. Because look, this is what these women do. They act up. They have ridiculous behaviors. Then when the man goes off, when he's tripping about it, oh, see? He's violent. He's loud. He's abusive. Excuse me? He is tripping because of your behavior. It is in direct response to your behavior, and now he's the problem. Now he's the problem. Make that make sense. So stop. That's a very small percentage of women, though. The cheating woman, the carousing woman, the woman going out to the club and coming home at 3 a.m, that's a small percentage of women. That's the truth. So when men start talking about that woman, I'm like, you talking about like 3% of women. 3% of women are doing that. 4%. That's just like y'all talk about OnlyFans. I think the amount of women on OnlyFans, when you think about every woman in the world, is 2%. Okay? So when men start, these OnlyFans models, that's 2% of women, bruh. Okay? That's not most women. Most women are not on OnlyFans. Most women are not selling their body for money. Okay? That's 2% of the female population in the entire world is on OnlyFans. Maybe lower than that. But yes, that woman does exist. And yes, that woman tends to get a Mr. Nice Guy, a good guy, a family man guy, who's like, yeah, let's be together. Let's have a family. Let's get married. Let's have kids. And she's not domesticated. She wild. She out there. And she want to keep being out there. She'll stop long enough to pop out some kids and then she'll get up and keep going. So nah, we the problem. We the problem too now. It's enough accountability and responsibility to go around. Stop acting like, well, the men are the problem. The men are... Stop it. This narrative has got to end. And then two, I want you to keep in mind, we can't grow. We can't evolve. At this point, we have to come together. Both of us have to see our flaws in these situations. We both do. Because women sitting around blaming the men and demonizing the men and calling all men predators and all of that. No, that's just not going to work. Now, is there a percentage of men that is that way? Of course. I've spoken about it. I have spoken about it. You have a percentage of dark triad men, cluster B personality type men. And I tell y'all to stay away from them. But no, those are the sexy men. Those are the tall men. Those are the fit men. Those are the men with money. Those are the men that's flying me out. Those are the men. See? So you getting exactly what you signed up for. And I keep telling these women, y'all getting exactly what you signed up for. You want to be flued out. You want a Chanel bag. Those are the men that'll get it for you now. But Gerald and IT, okay? He like, yeah, I just want to take you to the Cheesecake Factory. I just want to take a walk. I just want to get to know you. I want to try to see if there's a connection, you know? I'm kind of feeling you. Y'all don't want him. Y'all don't want him. Can we be real? Can we be real on here today? And like I said, you think about my generation. Back in the 70s, back in the 80s, back in the 90s, you meeting people at McDonald's, right? There's a hangout McDonald's up the street from the high school. That's where we meeting each other. We ain't nobody buying nobody nothing, you know, other than a milkshake, you know, and you just sitting in McDonald's for 2 hours, irritating the staff, you know, trying to get to know somebody. You walking in the mall. That day is over. The mall was like a club back in my day. I was like, yeah, you going to the mall after school? You going to the mall Saturday night? Like, that's what's up. Okay? You meeting in the food court. The food court is like 40 or 50 people deep, sitting around, getting one item, getting one item from one of the food places, but sitting around for hours. It's free. It's inside, right? That's the spot. But y'all don't want that no more. Okay? He said the good old days. It was, man. Shoot. Y'all don't want that no more. And look, we had Haynes Point. So back in D.C., if you're from D.C., you know Haynes Point, right? Haynes Point. Everybody get their car ready. Everybody clean their car. Everybody, you know, wax their car. The girls they got their hair done. They looking good. They got their outfit on. The guys got their outfit on, got their cologne on. And you go to Haynes Point. That's a park in D.C. on the water. Again, it's the middle of summer. It's free. And it's the spot. That's where everybody gonna be. You gonna be at Haynes Point? You gonna be at Haynes Point this Saturday? And that's where everybody was. See? Hanging out. Getting to know each other. Developing connections. Seeing if it's a vibe. Y'all don't want that no more. You want to be on this device. You want to be talking to multiple people. You want to be talking to people 3 and 4 states away. You want people to fly you out. You want men to send you food through Uber or DoorDash and send you gifts in the mail and all this. You want... It ain't even about anything real. You don't even know that dude. How I'm going to feel a way about a guy because he sent me a bag? Make that make sense. How do I know anything about that dude other than he got Chanel money? That's all I know. I don't know nothing about him. I don't know nothing about his character. I don't know nothing about his morals. I don't know if that man going to take care of me when I'm sick or when I'm carrying his child. You don't know nothing. And that's how you pick a man. Well, he bought me this and he took me here and we did this. And then you marry him and find out that you about to do 9 months of pregnancy alone. There ain't going to be no back rubs. There ain't going to be no running to get you no ice cream. There ain't going to be none of that. That man don't know you. That man don't care about you. Y'all better stop and get to know these people. And stop thinking that everybody in your phone is your option. They're not. Half the people in your phone aren't real. Okay? Y'all need to wake up and grow up. She said the pizza joint. Say, ooh, he's sexy again, Anita. That voice was funny. We were in high school, though. Nobody had money. Where do we go to now to just hang out with adults? Exactly. We used to stretch that money. Well, I use Meetup. So I use Meetup. I use the pickleball court, the indoor and outdoor pickleball court. I still go to the mall. I go to, a lot of people go to cigar lounges. That's not my thing, but you go to the cigar lounge. That's a big deal here. That's where people go and hang out. It's certain restaurants here. It's certain bars here that people go to. So it's certain places where I live that people are notoriously known for being there and hanging out. One of them is called, God darn it, what's the name of that place? Oh, Battery Park is one of them. It's a Bramley Park. That's it. Bramley Park. It's a restaurant bar, but it's a couple places that we know people are going to be at. What's the other place? It's a bowling place too. What is the name? Uptown Alley. That's another place. Uptown Alley. It's places. It's places. You just got to get out and figure out what those places are in your city. Okay? But here's the reality of the situation. So she said something about when we were in high school, we didn't have no money. It shouldn't be about money. Okay? Even though you're an adult now and you have money, we still shouldn't make it about money. That's my point. Okay? It still shouldn't be about money. That's what I actually loved about high school, is you actually got to know the person. Yeah, we didn't have money, but it shouldn't be about money. Okay? You're going to figure out at some point what that person's true situation is after you get to know them. But instead of getting to know them, you all lead with what can they do for me? And I'm saying, no, you got it all wrong. I want to know the man's character. I want to know the man's personality. And then I will assess his pockets. Ladies, I'm not telling y'all not to assess a man's pockets. You most certainly should do that if you've grown. But do that after you get to know him. Because guess what? Your vetting skills may disqualify him based on character. Okay? So before I disqualify a man based on money, I want to know what his character is. I want to know what his morals is. I want to know what his personality is. But you all will disqualify a man based on money, and yet he has good character. He has good morals, right? He has a slam banging personality. She said, it's so dumb how these fools like in New York City, but really think they have a valid option in Texas and don't even frequent Texas. Yeah, there are people blowing up their real relationship in the city they live in because they're talking to someone in Australia. That's how dumb y'all are. Like, can we be real? The real life person that you're dating is finding out that you're DMing some man or woman in Australia, some man or woman in London, some man or woman across the country. And now they're all upset because you're, sending these messages to someone that's nowhere near where you are. You've ruined your real relationship over a fake relationship, over a stupid, dumb DM, text message, WhatsApp relationship. That's how completely clueless you all are. And it's sad. It's really, really, really sad. So I don't even know where to start some days. Like, people come into me and I'm just like, man, I don't even know when to start. I really don't. Like, y'all, I ain't gonna say y'all are hopeless, but dang, what are you doing? So I gotta get going. But ladies, this was some tough love today. I know it stung a little. Some of y'all it's gonna sting. And I'm already ready for your comments. I'm already ready for, what you're going to say in response to this here on Instagram, over on YouTube. But some of y'all are the problem. Y'all don't have good, effective communication. Y'all don't have good character. Y'all don't have a interesting personality. I've already said that many times in other videos. Y'all's personality sucks. You're not interesting. You're not funny. You're not smart. You're not well-read. You don't have no hobbies and interests. There's nothing interesting about you. Okay? So, you don't know how to deal with conflict in a healthy way. Okay? You got to take care of yourself on the outside. You're not physically fit. You don't know how to take care of yourself. You don't know how to present and show up in a way that's attractive to men. Yeah, and I already know how y'all feel about that. Here we go, Anita. Here we go with the this and the that. Here we go. Okay, well, I just want to tell you, a lot of y'all's presentation is not up to par. And yet, I would rather be in the woods with the bear. I choose the bear. Like I said, where are we going? Where are we going with all this? What is the point? The sooner you learn to communicate what you want, the less heartache you'll have and less time you'll waste on the wrong person. Agreed. And that's why I told y'all, within 6 months, I can be like, well, this ain't gonna work out. 6 months and I'm out. I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work out. And I believe 6 months is more than enough time. How about this? In 6 months, some of y'all have fallen head over heels in love and you can't get out. You can't eject from the relationship. Well, Anita, I love him now. I had sex with him and I did this and I did that. That's your problem now. You don't take your time. You don't keep your legs closed. I have a level of detachment until the man is my fiance or husband. I told a client that yesterday. She bust out laughing. She said, why am I not surprised? She said, why am I not surprised? I said, you know me. There is a measure of detachment that I have until I got papers on that man. Till I got papers on that man, I'm like, okay. Right? Because it's only but so committed, like if I'm being honest. Now, once you my husband, I'm all in. Baby, once you put that ring on my finger and you say in front of my folks, I do, Anita is all in. You mine. And I tell a man that too. I said, I hope you ain't offended by me saying you belong to me. That's going to be my first dance song at my wedding. Lenny Kravitz, you belong to me. That's the first dance song. So get that in your psyche. You belong to me. I'm all in once we marry. But see, that's y'all problem. Y'all be out here dating. You be out here, well, he my boyfriend. I'm his girlfriend and, all this other foolishness. And y'all act like y'all married. I don't play them games no more. I'm abstaining till marriage. Good for you, Miss Sweets 21. Good for you. I agree. Eject sooner. Don't waste time thinking you're going to change your man and like him better later. Exactly. But see, you have to have a healthy measure of detachment. And it's not avoidance. A lot of people say, oh, well, that's you being avoidant. No, it's not. No, it's not. I am very emotionally available. I know who I am. I'm very in touch with my emotions. Now, am I going to, just crack open my chest and show you all my heart? Absolutely not, because you're not my husband. That I'm saving for my husband. Okay? I'm gonna open the door. I'm going to give you some peeks here and there, but I'm not cracking my chest open for a man I'm not married to. Hell no. That is reserved for my husband. Okay? I'm abstaining until exclusivity is offered and certain discussions have been talked about. Good for you. That's right. Have a standard, ladies. Too many of us do not have a standard. Evolving_Lulu74 says, my first song is going to be Latest Greatest Inspiration by Teddy P. That's a classic. Oh, Lord, that's a classic. That take me back. I just started back dating and that's my vow. Good for you. And you hold on. Hold on. These men are going to do any and everything they can to get some draws before they have committed. Everything. They going to use guilt trips. They going to buy you things. They going to try everything. You say no and look, this is what I've been telling women lately. And men are mad. This is what I've been telling women lately, right? I said, look, not only do y'all got to be exclusive and committed, he got to post a picture of you and him on his Instagram. Tell him, I ain't giving up no draws till you post a picture of me and you on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. The men are pissed. Why you tell women that way? I ain't giving you no drawers. I ain't giving it up until you do that. Right? Until you blow up. Until you blow up the spot and let everybody know we together, I'm not giving you no drawers. We give too much in the dating phase. We sure do. You shouldn't be having children, sex, or buying homes with boyfriends. No. Precisely how to know when to gracefully bow out when you don't feel, that this person is meeting your standard. If this person keeps violating your boundaries, if you don't have no attraction to this person, it's tons of reasons to bow out gracefully. Yeah, we're not a good fit. Yeah, this isn't what I thought it was. Yeah, I just don't think we're, a good match for each other. Yeah. And that can be from week one. You could be dating a year and say, yeah, I just don't think we're a good fit for one another. We're not a good long-term match. And there you have it. There you have it. I'm practicing now to abstain till I'm married. I've learned the hard way. Well, trust me, baby, we all have. We all look, whenever they put them posts up, they say, give your younger self a message. What would you tell your younger self? Keep your legs closed. my message is the same every time. Baby, keep your legs closed. Keep your drawers on. Wear steel drawers, Anita. Wear a chastity belt. That's my message to my younger self. Okay? It would have changed a whole lot of things. Facts. I'm writing that down, okay? Know when to gracefully bow out. But I mean, just like I said, it's plenty of reasons to gracefully bow out. You know, you all are not a good fit for a multitude of reasons. Okay? But yeah, I just don't think we're a good fit. Just don't think we're a good fit. Unfortunately. And remember, I vet every man for long term. Every man that crosses my path, I pull out that vetting notebook, and I treat him like, okay, if this man was going to be my husband. I really do. And men are like, wow, why do you do that? Why can't it just be a date? Why can't it? Because that's what's wrong with y'all now. Y'all take things for fun. Y'all take things for play and fun. And then you wake up and fall in love and realize this person is not a good fit long term. So I vet everybody for long term. Everybody has potential to be my husband until you ain't. Until you ain't my husband, I'm like, let me see what kind of husband this man would make. I sure do. I sure do. That's what a lot of y'all need to do. Start vetting him to be your husband. And if he ain't your husband, then you don't need to be playing with him either. Like I keep telling women, you need to choose a man that will make a good father. Y'all are overlooking that advice over and over and over. You so worried about yourself. You so worried about what he would do for you. You so worried about what he will buy you. No, I ask questions that tell me what type of father this man is. Think about that. If this man is a good father, if he could do right by a little child, he's going to do right by me. If he can sacrifice for a little child, he can sacrifice for me. But y'all don't care nothing about that. All y'all care about is bags. All y'all care about is being flued out and going to $500 dinners. You don't care about what type of father he is. So whether the man already has children, so most of the men I date have children, I assess, y'all, and it be ruthless. I assess what type of father that man is. And look, I had this one guy on our second date. He said, I noticed you ask a lot of questions about my kids. I noticed you ask a lot of questions. I said, you darn skippy. Because if you ain't ish to them, you ain't going to be ish to me. Okay? I said, if you don't know how to treat them, you certainly, I mean nothing to you. That's your blood. If you can't treat your blood right, man, get out of here. But he called me on it. I was surprised. He called me on it. He said, yeah, I noticed you ask a lot of questions about my kids. You ask a lot of questions. I said, yeah, bro. Because if you don't know how to do right by your children, I can get up now. It's easy to walk away when you've kept your legs closed. Hallelujah. Let the church say, amen. Say that again. And this is why I teach what I do. Again, there is a level of detachment when you not with your ankles up in the air. Okay? When your face is not buried in pillows and your behind is up in the air, see, there's a level of detachment. But if you kissing on folks, if you licking on folks, if your legs are up in the air, if your face is buried in somebody's pillow, it's harder to walk away. That's how you're biologically made, ladies. You're not made to have casual sex and on to the next and on to the... You're not made that way. So please stay off your knees, stay off your back. And trust when I tell you. And it's been plenty of men that I'm like, yeah, he cute and all, but yeah, you know, I can see his flaws clear as day. There are men out there I haven't even kissed. I've dated multiple times. Their lips never touch my lips. And my head is clear. Okay, remember the old saying, a woman's thinking is clear before having sex. A man's thinking is clear after having sex. Don't ever forget that. That's the path I'm on, vetting for the long haul. That's right. And every man should be vetted for the long haul. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong when you say, okay, let's see if this man could be my husband. That's the first thing I say when I sit down. Let's see if this man can be my husband. And then look, when some boxes don't get checked, when some things don't add up, I'm like, nope. And there you have it. And there you have it. And people feel a way about that. Well, why you make it about that? And why can't it just be a casual dinner? Baby, it's Anita. It's Anita. Ain't nothing casual over here. Oh, I'm sorry. You confused me with somebody else? It's me, baby. Ain't nothing casual over here. Ain't nothing just, oh, we just kicking it. We just, I'm sorry. You confused? You in the wrong place. Get out of here with that. Also, if women date men that actually like them, half of these issues with men wouldn't be inconsistent, rude behavior, etc. Again, women up, I'm just keeping it 100. Y'all are the problem. Y'all are the problem sometimes. Y'all keep going after dudes that just want one thing. You keep going after dudes that ain't trying to settle down, dudes that have a long string of broken hearts, and here you come. That ego making you think you special, and you ain't. You're not special. I need you to write that on lipstick on your bathroom mirror. I am not special to these men. I'm special to God. I am the apple of God's eye. But I'm not that special to these men. Write that on your mirror so you can be reminded. But you walking out in the world thinking that you different to these men. You special to these men. And the last 3 wives they had and the last 3 baby mamas, that you different than them. It's going to be different than you with you. When you have a child by him, he going to stick around. Y'all going to be together. Just look at his resume, sweetheart. That's what the resume is for, isn't it? That you go to the interview and it tell the job what you done before. It's probably what you going to do again. Okay? Stop pointing your legs toward the ceiling fan, ladies. I know that's right. I met a man that started asking questions. He asked me, is this an interview? I blocked and deleted him quickly. Yeah, that's a child. That's a child. Like I said, and it's a lot of those men out there. But just know that if a man can't answer basic questions, he's not emotionally mature. Come on. Emotionally mature people expect that the other person's going to ask questions. Come on. Stop it. Stop it. She said, what did you ask him? A lot of women's problem is they pursue men. If you pursue a man now, you will always be pursuing him. Real dope daddy, I would hope that anybody on my platform knows better than that. Like, that is femininity 101. Like, I don't know what to say if you're doing that. That is femininity 101. We do not pursue men. We flirt. We drop our handkerchief. We smile. We bat our eyes. But we do not call men first, text men first, ask men out on dates, ask men to marry us. Like, what? All of that is like, okay. What are your intentions? If you had kids, how many kids? Yeah, that was, like I said, that's an easy one. See, that's what I love about vetting, y'all. I love some vetting because it makes your life so much easier. So easy. Oh, so easy. He became upset. I gracefully bowed out. I don't have time for nonsense. There you go. See? So easy. Yeah, so what's your long-term goal? Right? And always use that phrase. What's your long-term goal? Right? Not what you into tonight. Not what you into this weekend. What's your long-term goal for us getting to know each other? What's your long-term goal for us, dating? I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking we could just, see what happens. We could just kind of go with the flow. I mean, I'm good. I'm good. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a bomb. Good riddance. What is your advice for women who don't get dates or men approach them? What could be the problem? All kinds of things. Way more things than I can go into now because I got to get going. But, all kinds of things. So I think there's an energetic issue that's going on, right? There's an energetic issue. And there might be some energy work that you have to do. There's some energy work that you need to do. It could be the places in which you're going to, the places that you're in. It could be that. It could be a sign that there's something going on within you where maybe you're not ready. You're not sending out that energetic signal, or you're sending out that energetic signal. But remember, there's only a type of man that can receive that energetic signal. I went through that for 5 years. For 5 years, men did not see me. They did not approach me. They did not say anything to me. I did not date for 5 long years because I wasn't sending out the right energetic signal, and the signal that I sent out, the right man wasn't going to be able to receive it. Like, there was a reason for all of that. And so once I did that spiritual work, I did that energetic work, it's like all of a sudden, all the men could see me again. And it was wild because I was in these spaces where there were tons of men, right? So I was one of the tutors. I was one of the tutors on the team of tutors for VCU basketball. So I tutored all of the basketball players, all of the female basketball players, the male basketball players. I was around men all the time. I was around coaches all the time. I was going to all the banquets, all the dinners, and it was like I was invisible. It was wild. Like, I would take other girlfriends and the men would talk to them. They wouldn't talk to me. It was like I was invisible. So there was a reason for that, and I did discover that there was work I needed to do. There's something I needed to do. I wasn't ready to be approached by those men. But the second that work was done, I was sending out that energetic signal, and someone saw it, and they came and found me. So there's lots of reasons. I could go into more of that in another video. She says, so shameless. These men that you would be interested in, if not, who cares? Yeah, because some of it is, there's a lot of men out there that just aren't a good fit for you. And I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing if they're not approaching you. They're not your man. What is for you will find you. Don't ever forget that. I could care less about not being approached by a bunch of bums. I could care less about that. I think you should get involved in things you really enjoy. It's warming up, so start looking for meetups or volunteering. Do activities that you like so your energy will be joyful and light. Agreed. She said, that's what I'm planning to do. Was this immediately after your divorce? I know you said you were working on yourself, so maybe that's why the fellows weren't approaching. Yep, that was immediately after my divorce. Not a single soul, like I said, and I was around tons of men, and they were like looking right over me. So it's like, okay, I need to work on myself. Okay. She said, I feel beautiful and I dress well. I'm on a college campus and guys just stare. So that could be part of it. That could be part of it is, men are not as well socialized as they used to be, but you have the ability to drop your handkerchief. You have the ability to smile. You have the ability to give eye contact. You have the ability to give choosing signals, and I would do that. I would give choosing signals. But again, if they're not brave enough, if they're not courageous enough to approach, that's not your man anyway. You're not missing out on anything. You're not. And when women say, well, he's shy, I have to make the first move. Okay, and you're going to keep doing that throughout the relationship. Like, if he's not brave enough to do the hard thing, that's a man I don't want. I don't want that man. See, y'all just want a man to have a man. You don't want the right man. You don't want the strong man. You don't want the masculine man. You don't want the good man. You want a penis. That's what a lot of y'all want. I want a penis, and I'm sorry, I ain't interested in that. I'm interested in the whole comprehensive man. Okay, that's it. All right, I got to get going, y'all. It's 10 o'clock and I got an appointment at 11 and I ain't had no coffee and I'm up here just jabbering away. All right, but have a great day. It's beautiful outside. It's a little nippy here, but I'm going to run and do this errand real quick, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember the description box is your friend. Everything you need to know about me and what I have going on is in the description box below. Please consider becoming a member of the YouTube channel, because there is members only content there. There is benefits to being a member. You get access to me through email, okay? You get a discount on Skool. You get lots of wonderful things that, if you are a member on YouTube, You get a lot of wonderful things for being a member on YouTube. And you know what? In April, I'm considering opening up free membership to Skool if you are a member on YouTube. So y'all need to become a member on YouTube. And I got 3 levels. It doesn't matter what level. Okay? April 1st, we will have free membership to Skool if you are a member on YouTube. All right? Thank you so much for watching and listening. She said I had to tell my sister that. I asked her, why would you want a man that's too scared to approach? Yeah, what kind of man is that? Nope. She said, have a great day, cold in New York City. Oh, Lord. All right, but stay warm. Have a great day. Thank you all for watching.